Hi girls, it's Jenny with Planner Perfect, and in today's video, my November setup. Stay tuned. Hey girls, listen, for this video, it was so fun to set up my November sub box in my planner just to get ready for the holidays and things like this. Thanksgiving, and still has that fall vibe with an essence of holiday. So I'm going to show you the beginning of my planner, kind of how I set everything up and just how fun it was to do, and kind of take you through each page of my planner of the first week of November. Let's go. Hey girls, we are back. I am in Zsa Zsa wide. I've got my ollie clip that's over in Etsy. I've got my tip-in, one of my tip-ins that was in the November box. It's available now. Look at how cute. I absolutely love it. And I've got my charm that will be available here for for purchase the week of Thanksgiving. So pretty exciting. Love me some Zsa Zsa. And I'm actually loving all of my planner. I love everything about it. So how I've got mine set up first is I do have a fall journal here, and I love the look of it. I've got my fall tip-ins in here, loving that. They're available. And I've got the November journal in here, which I am working on my daily gratitude. I was going to work on this with you guys, so stay tuned for that. So I kind of left it. So this is where we're just really working in our gratitude journals this month. It's such a, we should always be grateful and having gratitude journal every single month, but really harnessing the whole gratitude and thankful attitude in this month to really start it. So kind of fun, and we'll be doing the YouTube video on that soon as well. And I've got my November planner. This was in the box. I've got my meal planner. Cannot live without it. Have it set and ready for me, and have begun planning my meals and baking day for each week. And then I have my plan 2021. This is the new you girl, and I'm in love with her. She's probably, I always like change out, like I'll be like, oh yeah, she's for sure the one. I will never plan in anything else. And then I have another girl that I love, but right now she is phenomenal. And I have a new one that says 2022 in her glasses for next year, for my whole year, and I'm in love. So, because this goes through, I do believe, December. I think I have January. I think that's it. Yep, that would be it. February. So, in love, and I just forward plan in this, and it's just absolutely incredible. So, I mean, I had my Halloween planned months and months and months in advance. Just any ideas that I had a place to put it. My basement is being done, so I was working in that. Jenny Nana Bake, which my other YouTube video with my sister. Thanksgiving. My son's birthday, Christmas Eve, different things that we've really been planning. And the very back as well, I even have my birthday plans, okay? I'm not messing around. And then here I've got some routines that I've been using and doing. Morning routines, evening routines, been really, I do it and love it. My routines. And then I've got my subscribe and save from Amazon, which is a complete godsend. And I keep track of it here as well as online, but this is kind of fun. I kind of look over it and tweak it. I've deleted a lot, like, okay, you know what? I don't need this, or I don't need that, or I need to push this out a month or pull it in a month, stuff like that. But it's been really great. I mean, we were out of toothpaste, literally squeezing the tube to its entirety. And the next day I got my new 2 tubs of our favorite toothpaste came by Amazon the next day. I mean, it was like, the timing was impeccable. So I saw my friend, Tara, she used a paperclip, I think, to like harness all of the Planner Perfect stickers and tip-ins and stuff. And I love the idea so much that I copied, and I love it how she puts it like in the back. I just think it's so fun, which is perfect because I like to put a journal here. So, because our stickers do fit here, but man, I'm just really liking this. And I got one of these ginormous ollie clips. And so that works too. And I've got my holiday ones in here too, but I use them up so much. Gosh. So anyway, I wanted to show you my November setup. I decided to paint in my front page this time. It was a lot of fun. And I've been using a Tombow pen to kind of go across the lines. Didn't use washi this time, but I really like how it turned out. Just kind of really mapped out things that I know are happening. Starting a Bible study on the 15th with some girlfriends, and I'm loving it. Stay tuned for another YouTube video for deets on that, by the way. I'm always incorporating homeschool ideas, and we are unschoolers, and so I really go by, and if you don't know, I have 8 kids, and so I have 4 out of the house. It's been a blessing on teaching and learning and living with my kids this way. So it's such a blessing. So what I like to do is I put down learning goals. And a zoo, as long as the weather permits. I have down bookstore, sit and read. I kind of think of different ways we can learn. So going to bookstores and looking at stores, reading books together, grabbing a coffee, they can get a drink and a cookie. Science experiments. I get the Spengler. I think I've talked about this before, but it's the Spengler Science. I'm in their subscription box. Talk about amazing. I love them. I've been a subscriber for years, and it's $20. And they give you like 4 experiments a month in a box, and my boys absolutely love it, even my grandboys. So it's a lot of fun and full of learning, and I absolutely love it. Baking together, such as cookies, and kind of plan for it. There's a museum in Lincoln that we could go to that my older kids have always loved. So one thing that I've noticed is that my top 4 kids, so I've got, when I say top 4, I mean my older kids that are out of the house. It's such a different scenario for the latter half. I mean, a lot of moms are done now. I mean, I feel like, I got years left. I mean, my youngest is 8. So, I got a good 10 years left. So, saying that out loud. Anyway, so it's just a different feel to, and then, my grandbabies, I do watch them, my oldest daughter's babies while she works. And so I just love to incorporate learning in all that we do. And of course, I've got great little Bible things for them and stuff, but to do crafts, but it's a lot different learning experience with my younger 4. Like my younger 4 kids don't have the same kind of learning loves as my older 4. Because I try to replicate what I did with them, and I don't get the same response. So of course, I'm always like, well, duh. I mean, it's a different crowd. It's a different environment. I'm different. They're different. I mean, everything's different. I mean, I literally was nursing and juggling and doing things and taking kids to Girl Scouts, and it was just a completely different time frame. My husband worked outside the house. We all are home with these 4, and it's just all different. So I really have to reinvent the wheel. But you know what? I love reinventing the wheel. So let's go reinvention. Target trips for groceries. I like to give them their own little grocery list. It's kind of a learning type of scenario. Bowling. They had such a blast. Bowling. I took my grandsons with my younger sons. That they do love. And I used to always take my older ones there. But man, they loved it so much. And so I think I'm going to have to make it a weekly event. I mean, I even drew t-shirts for our own homeschooling league for my top 4. I mean, that's how into it we were. I was like the chairman of the board for homeschooling moms for bowling. And I would draw the t-shirts and get them printed on t-shirts. And man, I've got memories of that in a box somewhere. How fun is that? So bowling was just a blast. And so I'm going to have to take them again because my grandbabies had such fun too. Target trips, do crafts, visit Santa, Whole Foods. And this is just for this month. Art. So, doing art. I have great art books too. Kind of get them into art. Reading stories together and Bible stories. So, and also just the Christmas story, really kind of getting that in them. So here I've got Thanksgiving. There's still some little things I want to add. I want to paint this and do a little bit more color in here, but I really got a really great thing down for Thanksgiving. I really had a nice little coffee with my mom and talked about Thanksgiving because she's coming with my brother and all of that. So, my nephew. This is book reads that I want to read just for this month. I drew it and did some watercolor down here with these books. And I'm going to, I am such an avid book reader, but I tend to stop in the middle and go to something else all the time. And I thought, you know, I'm going to really finish it through so I can say, you know what, it's done and not be so scattered about it. Though I don't mind my system. It's just, I really want to write and target and finish the books. So I'm going to write those down, probably have 4 of them because I can, I could probably do way more than that, but because I literally can pound a book down in a couple days, one day probably, if I really, yeah. Anyway, so cute, huh? And then I will do that. Kind of a great way to put a goal. And then trim the tree. We always have a trim the tree party every single year. And what I do is early in November, I will put up our trees with no lights, our Christmas trees with no lights. The day after or the 2 days after, usually Saturday, just kind of depends. I do a trim the tree party. So I always did this every year since my Abigail, my oldest, was born. And, you know, basically I'm having hot chocolate on. We're playing Polar Express, okay, in the background. And we are trimming our tree. We are putting up our lights and our decorations, and we're in full decoration mode. So I like to have my trees up during Thanksgiving. So everything is really Thanksgiving decked, but except I've got beautiful lit trees in the house. And then the day after is when I do the swap of all of the Thanksgiving comes down the fall, and I put up full decoration mode. And so I love to have really great food out and like a hot chocolate bar. That's one of the things with cookies, and then leftovers from turkey paninis I have down. Oh my gosh. I hope to be really kind of showing that off either on my platform or on Jenny and Anna Bake. Me and Anna are going to be in full swing for our food, YouTube channel in January. But I've got to show you how I make my turkey cranberry paninis. Oh my gosh. So stuff like that, flatbread pizzas, kind of like fingery type foods for the whole day, because it takes a long time to really, football games are on and you're really trying to get just everything going, but you're not stressed about it. So you just reserve the whole day to like decorating every part of the house. So that's the plan. And I'm not even done talking about what I'm going to do. Because I also wanted to kind of go through some of my Christmas things and kind of see what I need. And this year, I really want to get on top of Christmas shopping. Like, I literally want to be done in Thanksgiving. So I'm really, and for December, the whole month, I really want it to be completely stress-free, and I want to shop for fun and do details, just like little things, stocking stuffers, little fun things that I see for my sister, my mom, just little fun things, and do fun things with family and friends. And my husband. So I really want to, and my kids, for heaven's sakes. But so I'm not done writing in here. I'm still dreaming. So, but it's there, and I love snuggling up by the fire and a glass of wine and tweaking these plans. So this time I used, this has kind of been my favorite now, is this gray. It's a Tombow pen. And I tell you what, I've had these pens, I'd have to say, I don't know, 5 years, and they just, man, they last. So I already had put down everything I was going to do, and we went bowling. Of course, all the plans, all of them really came to pass. I think for dinner, I think I switched and swapped out dinners, but all of the dinners also went as planned. The only thing I think that didn't happen is a zoo day that I had down. But we went bowling, and that was fun. And gosh, and I painted in the middle this time, which I thought was just a lot of fun. So on Mondays, they're really big business days. So I got a lot of this stuff done. And then here is when I start getting, on Mondays, I should say. Actually, as you can see, I don't have Monday on here. And you know why? Because Monday, it was one of those days that I needed a rest day, and I literally did nothing, and it really worked out really good. I just snuggled with my boys and watched movies all day, and took a couple phone calls, and that was it. And the rest of the day I snuggled with my boys, and so I was like, okay, yay, because now I get full pages for my weekend. So I didn't even mark Monday down. Okay, so I've got Tuesday, and this is when I got my grandbabies, and we did our bowling, and I got my babies again this day, and I painted in the middle, and I really, really had fun doing it, and it's kind of fun, different than this. Sometimes I'll do quotes in the middle. This time I painted, so it was a lot of fun. Friday, got a lot of work done, business-wise. This is today, and actually, and it's as busy as it looks. And I even put here, I put scripture. So that stood out to me that I loved. And got my Sunday. And that's my beginning. And I wrote down everything. I always do that. And then I will set up. I'm actually going to tonight, going to set up my whole book. So I'm going to get washi out and set up all my pages, how I want to do it. I did kind of a different look with this. And it really just turned out really beautiful, I felt. You just feel, you know, the thing that's so wonderful about this style of planning in this way is that, you know, you are, you know, the mind is something that really, the more you feed it information and you give it and you write it over and over. And sometimes we're going to be like, hey, why do you write down the same things like over and over? And it's because it gets into my subconscious mind so much that it becomes me. And so it's just a routine I build a habit on. And so it's a habit, it's a habit, it's a habit, it's a habit, and I do it because I write it and then I do it, and then I write it and then I do it, and then I write it and then I do it. And it just becomes so much part of me. And that's why scripting your life is not something that, it's actually a psychological approach. It's not just something fun because I love writing a lot. It's not that. It's a psychological approach, but it is also very gratifying, to say the least, because your life, you actually, the more you write, you can see where it gives you a better look at where you are in life, if you're moving the needle, if you're going forward, if you're using all your gifts, if you even have a life, if you do have a life, if is it too heavy. I mean, it really gives you an introspective look at where your life is and where it's headed. If you only follow the to-do list, again, you're kind of just really dwindling your life down to a list and series of things that you think you got to do. Whereas when you really put them within the scope of your day, you are really a woman then who's becoming a visionary, and you must be a visionary if you want to really fulfill your life's purpose, because you could really go through day by day by day and doing a lot of busy work, but not really moving and going anywhere. You could be very well living within your comfort zone. You could be not pursuing any goals and dreams. You could, because when you write it out like this and you really write, you're like, you know what? I really love my life. I really, really do. I love where I am. And, you know, or you could be at a state where you're like, you know what? I feel like my life, I have nothing going on. I feel like I am maybe missing something. I feel like I'm not using all of me. I'm not dreaming big enough. I'm not doing what I'm called to do. And it will cause you then to make changes to be able to become the visionary that God wants you to be. So this is more than just, you know, hey, I just love to write. And it's not that. It's a psychological approach to planning your life so that you can be introspective, you can be a visionary. And when you write like this and start really mapping out your day in you're really a choreographer as well. You're like, okay, I'm going to do this here. I'm going to do this here. I'm going to do this here. And then you begin to look at life like, well, if I'm going to see this person, I'm going to make them some pumpkin bread first. You know, you're always ahead of the game. You are ahead of the game. You are a visionary. Like, how can I bless this person? I'm already going to be over there. I'm not going to just visit their house. I'm going to make sure that a couple days prior, I'm going to go get a housewarming gift or a new plant. I'm going to bake up some pumpkin bread or some cookies, and I'm going to bring that to them to bless them. And so you are thinking so much and becoming a visionary about every aspect of your life that you are like, well, I'm going to be baking this for them. I'm going to be doing this for me. I'm going to start my book here, and I'm going to speak over here, and I'm going to begin this project over here, and it's just this beautiful scripted life of who you are. You're writing a better story for your life. You are becoming more, you're dreaming big, and you are allowing God. You're being a receiver of all that God has for you. He wants to be able to work through you and funnel through you, but you've got to be open and receptive, listening and knowing that that God's got a lot more than you could ever dream up for you. So when you do this, you're just kind of in this meditative kind of a state where you're planning, you're dreaming, and God loves to drop down desires into your heart so you can fulfill them. And it's a really beautiful place and beautiful way to plan. You know what, girls? Thank you so much for joining me today in my November setup and in my planner. Until next time, bye-bye.